everyone? This is Matt G. We're doing a live stream on a Thursday in New York City, and very nice, bright, sunny day, and just happened to be in Manhattan today, so I'm going to do a little stream, and hope you guys are enjoying your day and getting ready for the weekend. Technically, Friday is part of the weekend because it's at the end of the week. So happy weekend to you, and hopefully you guys can take a break from all the stuff that you've been having to deal with this week, all the troubles and everything else, and hopefully you guys can enjoy your weekend. It's a really nice sunny day. Feels like about 80, upper 80s. It could possibly be in early 90s, lower 90s. Well, we'll see. It's that time of year where the sunflowers begin to bloom. I plant sunflowers every year, so this is great weather for that. We're walking in Manhattan. It looks like I'm heading over, going towards the East River. Oh, there's some parking back these areas. So gracious, alright, interesting. You guys are enjoying your day. You're tuning in. We're doing IRL stream today. Oh, looks like there's a big pool here. Yeah, the smell of chlorine. It's probably be a nice time to be in the pool today. Very nice and sunny. Let's see. I'll cross over. We'll take a look at the river, East River, in a second. Walking underneath the FDR Drive right now. Still gotta watch both directions because traffic is not just cars, but also bicycles and all sorts of things. Let's take a look at, let's see if I could flip this. Alright, so we got some sort of boats here. One is painted black, another one, a little smaller one on the bottom there. Here's some more boats. So, got different boats here by the water. Rocking on the boat. The boat is rocking, and it's a breezy, windy. And you see in the far distant background, there's a little boat passing. Another boat right there. Take a look at the sky. We see the sky. You see it's barely covering the sun a little bit. Yeah. I think I crossed around here a few weeks ago, and they were having some issues. They're treating this area like if it's private property, but this is I'll be able to video and what I could video, what I can't video. And over this walkway, I crossed over there, and then I crossed over this bridge. And then when as I was crossing the bridge, you know, I just happened to look at things, and this is public open space, and I have a right to video capture anything. They said I didn't, so I don't understand exactly what they're talking about. But this is a definite location where they, I guess, have issues with videotaping. Yeah, I'm just walking through. They can't be bothering me. Yeah, there's a pathway. And yeah, here I am. Yeah, so I walked by this place one time, and they're having issue with me. This is an open public road. I walked across a public bridge, and they have issue with me videotaping or whatever. I was just live streaming as I am right now, and I'm just gonna continue walking. So I don't want to deal with them, because then I'll speak my mind and let them have it, because this is all public area. I have a right to walk this location, so they can't tell me I cannot stream here. Anyway, it's a nice little shade away from the sun, and sometimes in New York, that's a plus, having a lot of tall buildings in the city. So I have my walking shoes on today, so we're gonna walk. Yeah, there's a nice view of the river here. Let me see if I can. And ahead is the Queens Bridge. Now they interesting thing about this bridge, it was built with federal funds many years ago, and then they renamed it, like they like to do with a lot of places. They renamed it Ed Koch Bridge, Queensboro Bridge, and it's always known as the Queens Bridge. But Ed Koch is famous for being one of the longest term mayors of New York City. So I remember I was maybe a teenager and when he had his last term, and he seemed like a pretty reasonable person, but everybody who came after him have not been reasonable people. They have been infamously treating a lot of people, not treating people humanely. They had policies of search. So there's they did the searching of people randomly, racially profiling people, and it's still it's still kind of being done again, especially with the current administration. All right, so I will talk about politics every now and then, so I hope you guys are not too sensitive, but I will always, that's something that I will always speak about in my streams. So if you guys are sensitive whenever I speak about politics, I hope you guys understand I'm just generally speaking, and hopefully people can become more well educated in their city and all the things that's happening with government, different levels of government, because these policies that are being created affect everybody daily. So all this massive view of what we look at is built with principles in place that not necessarily for the best interest of everybody. It's only the best interest of the few, and keep those few in power. So this system is corrupt, very corrupt, and policies must be corrected or overhauled or redone. Alright, we got a little out of the sun, which is good. I'm underneath the highway, FDR Drive. We're walking along Midtown Manhattan, along the East River, going north, and doing IRL today. What I've been doing lately was a lot of music, karaoke streams, but I am mainly a mobile IRL streamer, so I use my phone to do the streaming, and it has a lot of limitations because if I'm not indoors that I could be able to charge, then my outdoor IRLs are limited, very limited to my battery life, which could be roughly about an hour. So one day I'll try and get my well, hopefully with the help, if I get some sort of help to support my streaming activities, I can get some sort of IRL setup where I don't have to be looking to always charge. Let's take a look at the river here. Over there on the right, you see the Williamsburg Bridge, right? You know, that's right behind those buildings. On the other side of the water is Brooklyn. So, Williamsburg Bridge is famous for one of the main bridges where people will cross over back and forth from Brooklyn into Lower Manhattan. One of several bridges. There's also the Brooklyn Bridge. There's also Manhattan Bridge. And if I scan, you see some boats over there. And those buildings over there are on the Brooklyn side. And then over here you see the Queens, Long Island City, right there, and then you see the bridge in the background behind these cranes. And it looks like people here are waiting here for the water boat to carry them across to another location. So I don't know if where exactly they're going to, but they're definitely going to be taking a little boat ride on this East River. So you see a lot of people waiting over there. We're going to be passing by them, but we're not going to scan them. We're just going to watch from here. Very bright day, very bright sunny. If I look up straight to the sky, you see the sun. Well, maybe you can't see the sun. I'm not looking at the sun. I did the wrong thing, as they say, looking into. They look directly into the sun, and I did that when I was about 12, 13 years old. I did it a few times, and after you look in the sun, your eyes start seeing all kinds of things. If you ever have people describe what it's like to be high or something like that, or delirious, and they talk about maybe rings or something around their eyes. So I saw those sort of things, those flash, like if I blink my eye, you could see the sun again, you know, if you were to do something like that. So it is definitely not recommended. I do not recommend looking in the sun. Alright, looks like it's over here we got it doesn't say, Sandy Hook Fast Ferry. So I guess it goes up the river. Sandy Hook is infamously known as location where we had tragedy happen, the Sandy Hook School. So yeah, a little bit, I guess, north in New York. And we have so many things affecting us happening all over the world, but locally here, there's so many people that are not always looking to do the best things in the best interest of people. Alright, so I'm walking along this path and along the river. I'm not seeing much of the river. Let's get back to the side of the river, see what else we can look at. But let's take a look at what I'm looking at. And you see, this is underneath the highway, the FDR Drive. And this is an elevated platform. And you see underneath, there's a pathway to 37th Street, looks like. And these are some of the things you don't see every day. A little pathway like this. And then if you look over here, looks like this is a gated part. New wave here. All right, and you walk right in, and then you see the vegetation on the side. You see that crane that we saw earlier. There comes a boat. Is it arriving? Let's take a look and see where this boat is going. The current is taking it north, but it's trying to turn. Is it trying to turn? It is turning. It's like almost like in a car, like a tail spin, where you see the tail on the water with that splashing waves as it cuts through the water. It looks like skis. It's on skis because it's hollow underneath. Maybe that's the way it goes fast. The way that's built. Yeah, it's definitely coming in to carry people. So it'll take people places fast on the water. That's a quick little thing to get people a little of experience. So if you're in New York, you could check out this pier right here, and you could travel on the water. It was packed full of people waiting to get on this little boat. It's a big boat, but it's little compared to the massive boats that are or ships that are out there. On the side it says Sea Streak, and in the back it says Courageous, Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey. So probably based out of New Jersey, but it does the New York City, kind of like a touristy type of boat ride, I guess. Just to look up and down the river, get the feel, smell the scent of the water. And there it is, docking. So it took a big turn going to these docks right here. It's definitely heavily used. I can tell the salt is corroding the paint and the metal of the boat, so probably will need some servicing at some point. Look at the splash waves from it, and how the current just carries the wall. And it's kind of windy, nice breeze, a very nice breeze. Let's look at the Queensbridge again. And this is going from Manhattan, Queensbridge, and maybe we should walk it. Let's do that. We're gonna walk. Let's see if we can walk this Queensbridge today. How about that? there you see the Pepsi-Cola sign in the far distance. Can we zoom in there? Yes, we can. You guys can see it. The Pepsi-Cola sign. You can kind of make it out centered right there. All right. Yeah, we're only just started into the stream. You can see the Queens Bridge right there. So we're gonna try and walk that today, I guess. This is an unplanned stream. We're gonna see if we could manage to last the stream. It's lunchtime, so if you guys are on your lunch break, enjoy your lunch. It's midnight. If you guys are partying out all tonight, hope you guys are staying safe, hydrating. Okay, here we go. There's a little speedboat right down there. Let's take just a turn and look from the side. This is the elevated highway right there, and you see the traffic is moving quickly. Tall buildings, of course, in Manhattan. Look at this now going into the water. It's a really nice day to be out, so hopefully you guys get some sun. You're able to enjoy it. This is actually a very, very nice day. I just get a little reprieve of the sun, the clouds. Look at that. The clouds are covering the sun directly, which is nice for a few minutes before the clouds, but it's covering it, so it's giving us a little. Oh, look at this boat. Let's see the landing. It's about to land in the water. This airplane. Is it gonna land? There it is in the water. Landing. It's about to touch. It didn't touch the water yet. And it touched the water. It touched the water and it's back up in the air. Back up in the air. And there it goes. Oh, kind of strange. So we're gonna walk along the water all the way to the bridge, and then we're gonna cross into Queens over the bridge, on that new walkway, which is used to be originally it was originally a bicycle pathway. Then so it was actually meant for bicycles. Then they made it an outside roadway for small cars, and then after that, now they just recently made it a pedestrian walkway. But we'll speak more on that once I get to the bridge. We'll see if I can get enough time on my battery so we can make it. So we won't delay. We'll just keep walking to the bridge. So we're gonna start doing a New York style walk. We're gonna walk north to that bridge. We're roughly, I don't know, 30 minutes there walking. We'll see. Because to enter the We're gonna see where we gotta enter. Let's see how convenient it is. All right. Right behind that Pepsi Cola sign over there on the Long Island City side and Queens side is there's some nice and a lot of tall buildings recently built in the last, and people are populating it. It's become a nice location, but for those who can afford it, it's costly, you know. Let's see. So I think I ran out of space here. So before I walk any further, let's take a last look at the outside view. The next view we're gonna get is gonna be when we're on the bridge, I guess, when we're getting close to it, because we're gonna walk more inland to get to the ramp to get on the bridge. So there's no walkway here. We're gonna have to exit here. Or is there an exit? There's no exit. This is ridiculous. There's no exit here. That doesn't make any sense. So we're gonna have to turn around and exit. All right, so this is gonna set us back a good 20 minutes. There's the boat. There's the same boat that was just docked. Now they're going north. So yeah, they're gonna go up north. And there's another plane again. Let's look at it. That plane. Yeah, the plane is gonna touch the water. And then these guys are going north. So goodbye to them. Have a safe trip. I hope we could make it. We're gonna start walking faster because I know I don't want to lose the battery and I'll end the stream prematurely. Take a look at the Williamsburg Bridge over there in the far distance. Take a big moment there. There it is. All right, so I need to get to see how we could get to the walkway. I can't believe they don't have a walkway here. It's ridiculous. But it is a nice spot to look at the river. It's just not that accessible. You can't. There's no exit and entry at the end of the northernmost part of this location. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in these places. So a lot of it doesn't make sense the way they have it. All right, I gotta get walking more faster. I think I drank a lot of water, so I have more incentive to try to get to that bridge. I wasn't even planning. Let's see. I wasn't even planning to do the walk on the bridge, but I might as well since I'm here. I mean, so we're gonna do that. So we're gonna race over there on foot. We're gonna do the New York style power walk, where you got somewhere to go fast and you don't have time to waste with taxis or anything else like that. Just step as the Dustin Rhodes, the son of the late great Dusty Rhodes. Dustin Rhodes always says on his Twitter, keep on stepping. So we're stepping today. A little bit about me. I also watch wrestling on occasion. I grew up with wrestling, so my interests do include watching wrestling, and I'm into politics, news, and politics. For me, politics is news. So anyway, we're underneath this same little underground pass over, or pass underpass. I guess that's what it's called. And unfortunately, you get the smell of New York City. So that's where people have no location to to have restroom, no open restrooms for public. So people utilize open spaces like this, and then you get the smell. Right now, I am probably 20-25 minutes away from the bridge. We're gonna walk right along the water. Right along the highway next to the water, FDR Drive. Yeah, I drank a lot of water, so hopefully we can just keep our concentration on walking, getting to that bridge, crossing that bridge. A lot of people walk these bridges daily. You know what they did. So going back to Queens Bridge, this is the start of where they did congestion pricing, which was in the works with some evil mayors from the past 3-4. It's been 3-4 mayors. It's been in the plans to tax people to cross the bridge. Now, our current governor, Hogo, made it, allowed it to happen, and now they're taxing people to cross a free bridge that was paid for by the tax dollar, federal tax dollars. The one thing that was great about government in the past was it built things for society as a whole, but now they made it restrictive. So I used to go to Manhattan every Sunday to do my soccer league, my football league, soccer, whichever one you prefer to call it. And the problem with governments today is it takes people's hard-earned money and tax them. So you're taxing the people with the most, and you're giving tax breaks to the ones with the most, if you know what I'm saying. So it's not proportionate, the taxation and what kind of legislation they do with the funds that are being taxed is putting it against our own people. People who reside here, who live here, who are legally here, and they're deliberately making even more, putting more harm to the people who are trying to do the best and follow the rules that are already in place. But what they're doing, both parties, Democrats and Republicans, are doing so much harm to the economy. And the economy is people, and people with the purchase power, and putting people more in debt. Take a breather here. See if I have any chat here. Alright guys, so can't wait to cross so I could continue my walk. It's really an enjoyable day. It is very warm, but it's windy, especially next to the water, and the water is a nice breeze. So it's actually somehow, if you're dressed accordingly, you could keep cool here, even though it's in the middle of the sun. I'm directly under the sun. It's midday right now. Quite literally, I'm directly under the sun. There's some tall buildings here. Let's take a look at it, see what I'm seeing. Alright, see tall buildings? Very tall, touching the sky basically. And then you have all the security back there, with all those flags. I didn't stand directly in front of them, but I'm just watching from the side. United Nations. So maybe they have the residency here. Look, all the flags here. So this definitely is the United Nations. If you guys can recognize any of your flags, go ahead and type it in chat. If you guys see anybody that you know, and if I see one that I don't want to give any. Let's keep looking and see if you see your own flag. If you're watching from anywhere around the world. So they got this nice green lawn right here. And the lights, so people can see these flags. So got so many different flags right here. If you recognize your flag, definitely let me know in the group chat, in the chat. Continuing on. There you go. Now we got a nice breeze and to see the flags a little bit better. If you recognize your flag, let me know in the chat. Alright, moving along. So you see right here all these tall buildings. Keep on walking up and walking north. Oh no, there's one flag that should not be there. I'm not gonna give it any view. More flags. Looks like the wind isn't hitting this location too well. Maybe the trees are blocking the wind from hitting the flags. So you can't really tell too well from my video quality. There's a police van. PD, police. I just walked over this little thing here. You have to avoid certain things when you're walking in New York City, so you avoid tripping on something. There's a whole location there with a statue in the background. So after this wall, there's a statue in there, and I don't know if it's I probably you know, statues are always they build statues for the worst of people. You can see right over there, and I do not believe it's a statue of a Native American, indigenous American. I don't believe it's a statue. Probably most likely someone who oppressed. Most likely it is of someone who oppressed the indigenous people. So Usually statues are of the worst people who are glorified throughout history, and a wrong story is told of battles and fights. This country was already existed. Here you see someone looks like putting a cross down on the, so they're actually horses used for some side of battle or something in this statue right here, with a cross, some sort of cross, and stabbing into the ground with a horse there. And it's definitely doesn't represent a natural way of people adopting different cultures or values. It was oppressed and forced upon. So speak of that, of we will, of that religion. And that's why the majority of the population in the world is vastly Christian, with Christian. Here's a better view of the statue. Look at this location. It's like a hidden gem of an area where people can walk in there and get a little shade from those trees. And in far distance, there's 34th Street buildings. A lot of space. Look at the flags one last time. You can't see it too well in the sun. Well-maintained, kept area. What's this purpose? Is for? What is it for? Who knows? Is there an entry to the side for it? Probably not. But I'm sure maybe they charge money to get in, an entry just to walk in this area. That's the problem with a lot of things. When you talk about museums, museums needs money of funds to operate. But this country has voted in people who are convicted felons and he's hired for his staff people who doing the same criminal activities, stealing from public, stealing all those tax dollars. I guess if you could see myself, look at that. Hello everybody. All right, so 10 more blocks will make that bridge, but then we still have to go more inland to get to the area where I could get to the walkway. So this is what New York City looks like. Lots of buildings, city buses, overhead subways, which is an oxymoron in itself. This is what typical New York City looks like. So you have big streets, and they're making these big streets smaller and smaller with all the bicycle lanes and the bus lanes and the taxi lanes, and it's really ridiculous because it causes a lot more congestion. Nice building. That truck with a big horn. This dog. And you see these barricades here. You see a lot of this for construction. Let's take a quick peek in, and this is what you see behind the scenes. The those heavy equipment machines. There we go. They're digging up, making a little site, getting ready for building buildings. Huh? That's what it looks like in the inside of this. And I bet you nobody has shown you the inside of a construction site. And here's some more. There's a generator and some more equipment, heavy equipment. And this is what the building will look like when it's all done. So we're walking, trying to get to the Queens Bridge. We'll be there soon. Looks like we're making good timing. And the one thing I like about New York City is that people will take whatever green space is available and try to make something happen for the beautified area, because there's so much steel, concrete, and you don't get, see this is on the this is around a little bit of dirt that's around the tree, and people will grow something like I do. I grow the sunflowers. So this is old classic New York City. See the old buildings and look at the renovated building next to it. They kind of just blended in the bottom part, but in the upper part is probably more modernized or renovated. So you have this type of building structure right here. This is what you think of New York City. The red bricks, brownstone, red bricks. I'm colorblind, so if you see a different color than me, tell me what color you see in the chat. But this is what I'm known to growing up to see in New York City. This type of red bricks buildings. And then the stores are on the bottom of these buildings. So you'll have people living on the upper levels, and on the ground floor there'll be businesses. And I guess when this city was founded by, or created by the Netherlands people, they call it New Amsterdam. New Amsterdam. And then eventually changed to New York. But this place existed before it was colonized. All of America's existed, the whole world existed before people colonized it. I'm walking in the bus only lane. Let's see what it says. This is something that you see when you're driving. In the back it says warning, wide turns. So you see the depiction of the car trying to pass on the inside of the bus, on the right of it. It's very, very, it shows don't try to pass a vehicle on the inside of it, because it needs its lane. It needs 2 lanes actually to turn. And I guess, see what I mean by green space? People will plant, or just vegetation starts naturally. And here's another view that you guys don't get to see. Bus tires. Look at that. These are big bus tires, not what ones you see on the regular car. Right? That's a New York City bus tire right there. All right. See what I mean? They filled this. They boxed up this around this tree, and they filled it up with dirt so people can plant. But it doesn't do too well because of this building right here. It blocks out the sun. So any type of thing you try to plant down here, this really tall building, anything you try to plant down here in this tree right here, it's not going to work out. You can see there's nothing really that can grow here. Let's take a look at some more bus tires. They're not that big. I mean, much like double or triple the size. Definitely triple the size of a. No. Maybe double the size of a regular truck car. Anyway. Let's cross. Continuing on. Very nice day it is today. Here's is a little tiny sunflower. We could take a look at that. All right, we found something growing. There we go. So let's take a look at that. Growing in the wild of New York City. A nice little sunflower. Someone took the opportunity to plant that there, and it managed to grow. Because you get a little sun here, so it's shining bright now. It's blooming. So sometimes you have to stop and take in the flowers, as they say. Stop and smell the roses. Well, here we found a sunflower, which is very nice. Here's one. Here's another one with the petals are falling off, drying up. And the movers parked in the bus lane. Oh, it's Amazon. Got a lot of shippings. Amazon was a book company. And they went online. And then they start selling all kinds of stuff online. Let's take a look at, you see the on the side of the buses, you see billboards for different things. So one thing about New York City, you have Broadway plays. So that's one thing to look forward to if you're here and you have the money to take in a Broadway. You know what? I don't believe I've ever been to a Broadway play or show. And I've lived here for most of my life. See overhead, ahead is the bridge, the Queens Bridge. So I'm gonna have to go inland to get to the location where we can walk on the bridge. And now they create these bicycle lanes, which is okay. It's good, but if you do that in a way that it's destructive to making traffic smoothly, then it's not a good idea. So now we have to adapt the way of life is. I just walked through a puff of that smoke that comes from the ground. You could see, if you could see that smoke that's coming right from the underground, definitely don't want to breathe that in. I don't know what kind of stuff is that, but that sort of steam is what you can visually see, especially in the winter time and on the cold days. You see the steam coming up from the underground underneath those potholes. And so much space since the high-rise cost of everything, so much has been overpriced, and people are going out of business, and they caused it to also, from the pandemic, to force people to close their businesses. So less and less people are renting or owning businesses in the city. And okay, now they have these signs here that says Queensboro Bridge, outer road, no cars. So that means people can walk on the sidewalk and they can cross this bridge. Now look, let's take a look from the beginning. So this is the area where we start to walk, and then it goes up. We'll see where that truck is coming from, and it will go up this way, and it'll take it, and then you start the long descent in across the over the river, East River, and then landing on New York City. I'm sorry, Long Island City. All right, so let's go make this walk. Let's see how it is. Alrighty, so this is the side of the bridge we're about to walk on. And over there you see the thing where the tram, the cables for the tram that goes from 59th Street Bridge, the cables into Roosevelt Island, and then into Roosevelt Island. They have it right above there, the cables for that tram. Now let's go. This used to be the road. I used to drive where that crane is, right here, this thing, and I used to enter there, and I would walk. I would drive along here. So now, in here, that road is closed, and now they put this gate. They put this stuff here, and they close it off with this gate. So no more driving. But now this is opened up for people. And before, this was a bicycle. Originally, this was for bicycles. This roadway. Now they made it for pedestrian walking. And And it's not. They had. Yeah, here they had one lane. It could easily be two lanes, but I could see the old lines that they cleaned off. This really should be the side for bicycles. It should have went back to the bicycle lane again, because it was built for that. But they make it the walkway. But the problem about this walkway is when you get to the Queens side, it is not convenient for people, because if I wanted to cross over to the northern side of Queens Boulevard, I can't immediately do that. I would have to walk about 2 blocks east to get to the other side of Queens Boulevard, Queens Plaza. This is a nice walk, and for those of you who want to take a chance to walk on a New York City bridge, now that this roadway is accessible for people, even though it's inconvenient when you get inside Queens, it's still worthwhile. I remember driving on this many times on this roadway here. And I was told, because I took a course about New York City, this road here, it was a bicycle road, and it was clear, so it was made out of some sort of glass material that you'll be able to see underneath you. I believe. I might be mistaken. Maybe I wasn't paying attention in class. But whatever was underneath here before got paved over, and it was a nice road. We were just down there, and now we're climbing this bridge, Queensboro Bridge, renamed after the former New York City Mayor Ed Koch. So moving on, this will be, oh shoot, stepped on that hot. All right, for those of you all right, good, we're back. So nice view of the city right here. So let's take a quick look. All right, so you see the city right here, like there, the buildings. We were just down there lower, and you see in the far distance, nice scenery of the thing. If you could pass the view of this the screen. The East River ahead. All right, and right down there is Roosevelt Island. And over here is the upper bridge. Up there is the upper bridge of Queensbridge. All right, so up there is upper. Here is the lower. We're walking right along the traffic right here. And see traffic just zooming along. when you hear traffic, it sounds like it has a sounds of like a water, because it rolls, it's rubber and it rolls on the pavement. So you can look out there again. So I used to do soccer practices over there in Roosevelt Island. They have some parks down there. Roosevelt Island is between Queens and Manhattan, in the middle of the river, East River. And it's very expensive to live there. Yeah, I think they need to remove the pavement from this sidewalk, because as it gets very hot, the asphalt melts. So it's not good for human traffic because it sticks to your foot. That's what happened to me when I stepped on a hot asphalt. So they need, if they're going to keep this as a walkway, they need to fix this walkway and remove the asphalt. Because this blacktop here is not really any good. Alright, we're walking along the Queens Bridge. They said this was for a walkway, and they have people with the bicycles, or these things here. All right, we're almost in the center, getting roughly the center. Okay, here's almost the center of the bridge, but we could see the center of the river. And there's the view. Let's see if we could get a little closer. You can see the city. Well, you see most of the steel in the city. I don't want to get too close to there. If I drop my phone, it'll go straight in the water, and that's it for the stream. That's it for my phone and all the history. We walked so many different locations. So we've been in California. We've been around New York City. Where else have we been on stream? Portugal, Paris, and so we've got there's the Long Island City over there. And we're on the Queens Bridge. I think we're in the center of the Queens Bridge. Yeah. So yeah, we're in the center of Queens Bridge. It's a good day it's a good day for a walk. Really isn't that bad. So we picked a good day for this walk. Yeah, we're crossing the bridge, Queensboro Bridge. It's a nice, peaceful, quiet walk. And as we look over here, I look into Queens, Long Island City area. As originally, this Long Island City area is where a lot of the ports for the water. You see the power plant. You see small streets. It's built for warehouses, but then a lot of it has been converted to business, other types of business, including hotels. So it was really fun to drive on this outer road. This is all near Long Island City here now, in Queens. It's just basically all warehouses. But within it, hotels, and those tall buildings ahead, those were just made in the past 5 to 10 years. Those big, tall, high-rise buildings. So they built them very, very quickly. One thing about this bridge, my history with it, when I first bought my first vehicle, it was used, and I had to get it fixed up. But when I was driving it home, I accidentally turned onto this bridge, and I drove it to Manhattan. So what I did was made a U-turn, and go right back over into Queens. So that's what I did with my first vehicle that I ever purchased. Was I drove on this bridge with the first vehicle that I had. And when I took it to the mechanic to look at it, he told me it was operating on only, I think, 2 out of the 8 pistons, or 1, or maybe 2 pistons. So I was very fortunate that it had enough power to drive on this bridge and drive on the bridge again. And this on the very first day I had it, because I know I needed to fix it up, the engine and whatever else mechanically. So we're looking at the south side of Long Island City, and when we look at the northern side, it turns into Astoria on that side, past those trees, which is Queensbridge Park, where those trees are. And then there's an area, Queensbridge, where you have the projects. But on this side, Long Island City, it's business. And as you can see, that roadway, well, maybe you can't see too well because I'm walking and shaking with my hand. So I'm using a selfie stick, walking selfie stick. So you're seeing, I'm holding it the best way I can. So this is the roadway from the upper bridge, and it goes over to Queens Boulevard. Where those cars are heading. Oh no, this is an entry to this Queens Bridge. That's the beginning entry into this bridge. This is the road that goes into the Manhattan. Losing battery. I may be losing battery, guys. So we're gonna call it a stream, guys, because my battery is dying. So we almost got completely over the bridge before my battery died, but someone was calling my phone and it helped burn my battery. So boo to the person who was calling my phone. It wasn't so important that he needed to be calling my phone, and it burned my battery up even faster than it should have been. It wasn't an emergency. Anyway, I didn't answer him, but that's sometimes people just don't know. If they don't answer, maybe they're busy, you know. But I have maybe another minute, so I'm gonna end stream. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys another day. All right. Now there's the coming off of the upper bridge, going on, and then you see in the background the train, number 7 train. And you see the structure of the bridges, of the roadways. A lot of steel. How much battery is left? 1%. See you guys. I'll see you guys another day. Have a great day. Or a good night.